Hey, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a chore video. We're doing a chore video today because I have a lot of random things that need to be fixed, placed, and sent out. And I just thought I would take you along because I have not done a chore video in a minute. And so we're going to do that. I am in my office, and this is where all my chores need to happen today. I have to send out soil. So for my Etsy shop, I have to find a place for a new plant that I have. I see some dead foliage on one of my plants up top, and I need to do some rearranging over here and maybe over here. It's just looking a little bit a disaster lately. So if you are new here, this is a channel where I talk about houseplants and do DIYs. So if that interests you, take a minute and subscribe to the channel. And if you are a recurring viewer, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. First of all, I actually need to clean this room. So this room doubles as an office, plant room, triples, and kids' playroom. And so right now the kids have all of the train tracks. They are gone. That is why I'm taking this opportunity and doing this now. Otherwise, it will not get done. And so first of all, we just need to clean the room up. Okay, now that we got that all figured out, I actually need to go now in the kitchen, and this is the plant that I need to figure out a space for, and I'll share that in a minute. I already shared it technically on here, but I need to sit down and actually find a shipping tag. I need to create a shipping tag for an order that I have to send out, and so that is done in here. Why it's not done in the office? Because it's taken over by everything else. I know this is great light right now and a great angle, but so I do ship out things from my Etsy shop. I sell like punch needle coasters, plant coasters, and other random stuff, I feel like. But one of the main things that I sell on there is my soilless soil. So I know I've talked about it before, but I've been shipping it out a few times actually lately. And so that's exciting, but I need to just log in here and get one order sent out. I've also been using Pirate Ship. So if you do a lot of shipping, I would check them out. I didn't know about it until like recently, I'd say. And I think I talked about it before on my channel. Yeah, when I was shipping out my plants. It just seems a little fishy. I don't know how they get such good deals, but it is a lot better deals than what you find in store. And so that is what I've been doing lately, just going to Pirate Ship, and that's what I'm currently doing. I guess I forgot. I'm gonna have to go actually package it up before log into Pirate Ship and actually figure out the cost of it. It takes 10 years. Okay, let's go back in my office and I'll actually show you how I package the package because it's very dark and gloomy today. But this is my good soil mix. And so it is soilless. Again, you can find it on my Etsy shop. I'll link it below. But all I do is use these number 6 mailers and some good old, whatever you call this, cushioning paper. I do, ooh, lights flickered. I do seal my soil. So it's like a reusable seal, but I do actually seal it if I'm sending it in the mail. And how I do that is I use my handy dandy hair straightener. Yeah, probably not a good idea. I do need like something, but here we are. I also think that my hair straightener is causing the lights in here to flicker. Okay, done. So now it's all sealed. They can just tear it open and start using it. So I always say, usually I put a note in here that when you get my soil, it's all like layered to make it look pretty. By the time it probably gets to you from the mail, it's probably really shaken up, but I always suggest either shaking it up in the bag or putting it in some sort of bowl and mixing it together well. That way all of it gets mixed equally in. And then I just take my little, whatever this is, paper and wrap it like so. Then I also include my business card because I do have a Pinterest, I don't know why I'm so out of breath, and a Instagram. If you don't know that, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm always posting random stuff. And then I post a gospel track. Package has been dropped off. Maybe I'll turn the light on. It does absolutely nothing. All right, so I picked up Chick-fil-A so you can sit here and eat lunch with me. Move you closer. How do people do this like all the time when they vlog themselves? I don't understand. It'd be a lot of changing. Okay, anyways, so I got that package sent out, and I've also, oh yeah, like these are what I sell on my Etsy shop, coasters. But I got that sent out, and I have lunch here, so I'm probably just gonna sit here and eat this for a moment, and then I'm gonna get to rearranging some things in here and looking at a few plants. So plant-wise, I have a Monstera Stanleyana albo, and I shared that just like a few minutes ago on my video. I got it for Mother's Day. I also have a video about that maybe will come out later. I'm not sure, but I have a video on it. I got it from Lowe's for Mother's Day, and I purchased it because it was just really large and pretty, and I have not seen one that large before. So I went ahead and picked it up, and I put it on a moss pole, spoiler alert, and need to figure out what to do with that because I have a few moss poles, and they are scattered throughout where I can fit them. And now I have no room to fit them. So I need to find a spot for that. And then I have a Monstera aurea that I have propagated, and I know I've shared that video here. You can go back in my collection and watch it. I purchased it, chopped it all back because it was like a imperfect plant, and that's why I got it for a pretty good price. I say a pretty good price, like a really good price for that plant. And I decided to chop it all back and propagate it, and I have done so, and it's rooted really well. Maybe I should just do a whole separate video on that. Like, I now need to take it out of the water because it's actually looking like the leaves are yellowing and suffering in the water, and I need to figure out what to do with them because none of them are growing new foliage. They're only growing new roots. So I need to take a look at that like immediately because I do not want to lose any of those cuttings. So this is the top shelving area of this little IKEA cubby that I have here in my office. And so this is the leftover Monstera aurea from what I propagated. This is a Burley Marks. This is a Burley Marks variegated, both of those. Tycon, little ZZ plant, nothing. So I need to take this out. And then my Syngonium albo on a moss pole. And then this is my new Stanleyana. And so it's in a really big pot. I need to take this out because it's in too big of a pot where I need to put something in it to like help it stand out a little bit better. But this is what I got from Lowe's. It's 2 parts, or has 2 parts to it of the plant. But one is on a moss pole and the other one is in our bedroom. So I need to figure out where I can put that. But I was thinking of moving this pot that's empty and just placing it there and then putting the Sansi clip light like on the top of my Syngonium albo or on the top of this Monstera Stanleyana albo. And then you also have my greenhouse little shelving unit cabinet over here. So I'm going to take this all down. This is a ZZ plant. This is a random cactus that I don't know why I got it, but it's pretty. It's like a variegated one. I probably need to water it because it's starting to yellow and I haven't watered it in a very long time. But look how pretty it is, like with all the white. I also should probably dust up here. It's pretty bad. This leaf never unfurled. It was all white, which is crazy. I don't know if you can tell, but it was all white. So it didn't even unfurl, just didn't even make it. This plant probably needs to be potted up. This is my Mother Syngonium albo. One part of it you can see here is all green. And then the other part of it is actually variegated and is super nice and doing extremely well. And then I had another part of it that was all white. And I just took that one out and threw it away because every single leaf it started producing was white, and white leaves will not sustain. Like, they will not last. They have nothing to hold on to. I can definitely tell that the roots are coming out in this pot, and I'm having to water it a lot more often recently. And so it might be good to look at potting it up and just seeing what we can do. I also might chop it back because again, it looks like these, oh no, okay. So it goes variegated, unvariegated, variegated, unvariegated. It's like doing a pattern there. So maybe it's not bad, but this guy is all green. This is here. This whole vine is solid green. So I might just end up chopping that one back and seeing if it produces any white variegation. You can do that. You can chop them back and to like where they were growing variegation and see if it will continue like again pushing out the variegation. So I might do that. I also might pot it up. I'm not really sure, but I do need a vacuum. I know that. This one might need to be looked at. Might just go ahead and chop off these 3 green leaves here. Let's see. This plant is not rooted in that well. Like my epiprimnum, if you have seen that like in my on my Instagram, it has just rooted in extremely well to the moss pole, but this guy on the other hand has not. And it has a completely new little shoot growing down here, which is awesome. But I think this guy is in need of a repot because it's looking a little just sad at the moment. But I am going to chop back this entire, which you can't see it, but this entire green plant here, it's all one. Or maybe I just won't chop it back. I guess I could take the plant out. It's also bizarre that this guy has pushed out green, green, a little bit of variegation, and then like nothing. It's very interesting. Okay, we're just going to hold off on that because I think I might just end up repotting this entire thing. Yeah, I'll just do that. Okay, because it needs to be watered. But in the meantime, it does still stay here. And then this guy something needs to be down here. It needs to stand on something. Well, okay, this needs just to have a different pot. It can't be in that cover pot. It's too big, but it will stay here. This is where it will be too. Just make this the moss pole area. And then my lovely random ZZ plant that I should also probably just get rid of needs to be watered as well. How I'm going to do this one, I don't know. But what I was thinking was this of the pole. The tide on. Okay. Where did this come from? I have so many vintage cameras. I just don't know where they all come from. Also, let's just look at this Tillandsia. Oh gosh, look how beautiful this is. So it started off when I got it, this like creamy white green color. And then it started to open up and now it's this pinkish, you can see it up at the top, pinkish color. And then after all of that, these little purple flowers, cannot focus it, but these little purple flowers just all of a sudden sprouted out everywhere from it. Thought it was so pretty. Maybe not, but it just sits right here in this cubby. So I got that up there organized. This is my Aurea, my Monstera Aurea. So you can see here, and look how well it's rooted. Like it is super well established and doing really great. I can see some new growth points that are coming out on these 3, but not this one. But I'm hoping that something comes from it. But you can tell that they're just starting to curl up, and this is actually starting to yellow and die off. And so I really want to get it out of here and pot them in soil and start fertilizing them well and see, if they pop back up. But it is well rooted. All of these, not all of them, several cuttings had aerial roots already. So it was just a matter of it creating secondary roots off of those. So it rooted fairly quickly, I would say. But this is, maybe I'll do this, like a whole separate video on this, just to share the update and where it started and where it is now. But I do need to take care of that today. So I think that was good. I think that's looking okay. This whole section here needs a light, honestly, is what it needs. It'll be okay for now because this Sansi light was connected to the ceiling and it fell, unfortunately. So we're just going to leave it there. But we're going to flip you over and I'm going to show you my golden pothos. Okay, so I had to angle the camera down so that you could see all of this. Maybe I can, maybe not, maybe not. Okay, so this I redid and made over. I purchased it for $19 at Lowe's. And it was in a gallon pot and it had a trellis in it. I have a whole video on this makeover. It's doing really, really well, but I do have a lot of just random new shoots coming off of it, and it's just getting really tangled. And I want to do something about it. And so I'm going to try and take all of this off and then rewrap it. Okay, so maybe you'll be able to see here. I'm not really sure because it's really large. And so we put the moss pole on it and it's just sat here and it's done really well. This is where it has sat. It is next to, like, you know, or across the room from a north or east facing. This is a north facing window. And so it's done really well. My Sansi lights over there and all of my grow lights, but it has started to produce pretty large foliage. I'm not really sure. I have to do a close up, but like its foliage is getting really big and really nice and healthy. But I just need to now kind of resituate some things and see, because some of it is attached to it. It has definitely grown in and rooted in, which is really awesome. It's also leaning bad. Okay, so yikes. So this guy is rooted and wrapped around, which is kind of a bummer because you can see here that there are no leaves down here. It's only here. So as it got to the top, it obviously did really well, but below it's not doing so awesome. Not really sure what to do about that, but this guy, this new super wrapped around part, has gotten really large and he is well rooted in there. But you can see here, like, these leaves have gotten pretty big and they look really nice. So I guess he's just gonna have to, he's like made his claim on this top portion. I guess it'll just stay here. I'm not really sure. Might have to end up cutting that one back. But this guy, I really have a problem with because it's super bare. So I'm trying to pull out the root because it's rooted in there. Oh, okay, got it. And I'm gonna start at the bottom and just wrap it up. I'm also removing some dead leaves. There's quite a few down here. This vine, need to water this. Okay, so like we've got all of this down here. I'll just scoot you closer and show you. Okay, so I have all of this that was either in the pot or on the pole, but you can see here how bare that is. I really don't want to cut it because the foliage is just really large and nice. I would just like to cover it up with some of the other vines that I have available. And so this, I just water the moss pole primarily, and I never water inside the pot. I do need to water inside the pot, though it is starting to get really dry. But I really, this is a messed up setup. So this is a rattan pot holder. It has its own pot that goes with it. And then this is a random pot that I just stuck inside of it. I would love to remove this from this pot and put it in the actual rattan pot, you know, that fits in that. That way it sits there nicely. So I don't know, it's not something that I needed to do today or I wanted to do today. But yeah, maybe I'm not going to because it's too much to do today. But I do need to do that because this looks ridiculous. Okay, so we're going to move you to this side. Maybe you can see a little bit better as I wrap it all up. So I think that that's a little bit better. I know it doesn't look better, but at least they're all like wrapped around it fairly evenly. And maybe now that these small vines down below, because there are quite a few just smaller new vines that are coming out, I will slowly start to attach them and maybe they'll just all fill in that space. But yeah, it is what it is until I can actually figure something out. But it has come a long way. And if you're interested in this video of like what it started out, you can go check out my video collection again, and you can find it. It's called Giant Golden Pothos Makeover. I was going to do something with this area, but I don't think I am today because I don't have the time. But here, this is like a Jacinia pothos, I think. I just have it sitting here. I got it from Lowe's. It has this really pretty variegation that it's like opposite. It's like a neon yellow or lime color, and then like our chartreuse color, and then it's got the green variegation, like the darker green variegation. I keep meaning to like look at it and kind of do something with it, but I always forget about it. And then this is my El Choco Red. This is one of them that I have. It's very beautiful. No, this is my varicosum. I'm sorry. This is my varicosum. We're good. Yeah, I forgot I put it over here. And I just recently like chopped some of it back because it was growing very oddly. It was sitting underneath my Sansi light and it did not like that. It got too high light and the leaves just would always be so like sad and droopy, no matter how much I watered it. And so I moved it and it seems to be doing okay here. It does have 2 new growth points that are coming out, so we'll see. And then this, which has a water tray underneath of it right now, I do have a DIY on that, is my El Choco Red Philodendron. And it's beautiful. It's sat here. I have just repotted it and sized it up, but it's doing really great right here. I love this plant, the beautiful red backing. I need to take the water out. Whew. And then I thought this had water in it too. This is my variegated string of hearts. My sister found this at Walmart just a couple weeks ago for $12.84. So I had her pick me up one and she got herself one as well. But it's super pretty and really variegated. And if you check out your Walmart, I just posted a video recently about my Kroger finds, and I found some Hoya carrii. But go check them out and see if you can find anything, because this is a really fun plant to have, and it's just shot off. You can see all the new growth. Like that wasn't there when I got it. So I'm really excited. It just sits again here. So it gets the grow light from, or it gets light from the Sansi grow light. But really beautiful plant, and it's already really long. And that's not my first variegated string of hearts. I do have another one in a really small pot, and I purchased it for $25 probably 3 years ago. And so they definitely have come down in price, and I was excited about that. I think that was really it. Got that guy. I didn't do this. I'm going to do my Monstera Aurea repot, but I'm going to do a separate video for that. And then I figured out where my Stanleyana went. So I figured that out. The light is falling, so I'm going to need to figure that one out. And then I need to get another light for my Burley Marks and things over on this side of my green, or my, shelving unit. This dark side, light's falling. But I need to figure that out. Well, that was it. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and we will see you next time.